Shadow0q, especially with lower defense, is going to suit him really well because him and Balloonboy, who has more defense than Shadow0q, they're going to roughly die, or they're going to roughly get the KOs at around the same range. So, you know, a map like Brawlhaven will really help out Shadow0q compared to something like Apocalypse, where it's just a lot larger. Shadow0q at the moment trying to mince him up with this scythe, gets a couple hits, putting Balloonboy in the orange, but Balloonboy is gonna hope to try and use these blasters to his advantage, but not before he gets taken to the orange. That nair saved him from the scythe ground pound. That was really impressive from Balloonboy. He's trying to cook up his meal, but no, Shadow0q, he's getting a couple good hits in here. It's only going to be a matter of time before he gets the KO onto this Balloonboy. Try to find it with a ground pound. Balloonboy getting himself back up with the recovery, which did hit. And now Balloonboy's the one with the edge guard, which he's going to have to try and mix up the pace of his attacks to try and work his way around Shadow0q at the moment. Both of them now back into this neutral state. Balloonboy hitting an Endlight, tried to go for maybe a recovery, but no, decided against it. Shadow0q getting a scythe string. That side air not going to be enough to get the KO just yet. Balloonboy makes his way back, gets the rush with the double unarmed recovery. Oh, try to find something else. That downlight is not going to hit. That side signature was a bit risky, and Shadow0q, he's going to remind him that you pay the price if you miss.
Yeah, that, honestly, punishing the signature is a huge statement as to how Balloonboy is going to have to approach the rest of this game, and also maybe the rest of the set. That recovery, that's going to be a big statement, firing back from Balloonboy as, the low ceiling, maybe not low ceiling, but the ceiling on Brawlhaven is going to take Shadow out at that health, and the funny thing about that is that I'm pretty sure Shadow actually just likes Oh, that dare to punish the ground pound might not be the best for Balloonboy. Shadow's proven why he likes playing on Brawlhaven so much. A lot of Shadow's games have been on Brawlhaven. Pretty cheeky little sidelight to punish the dodge in right there. A double sidelight, actually, I should probably specify. Balloonboy has played quite a few different maps and has just kind of like destroyed on all of them, but Shadow feels very comfy on Brawlhaven, so it's I'm a little curious to see if Balloonboy switching off of Brawlhaven is going to be that big of a mix-up for Shadow, or if Shadow is able to keep up with that. But so far, game one, damage lead and also just map preference, I feel like, I mean, not like a, you know, confidently in a huge lead, but like I can see this going to Shadow pretty realistically because he's about to get the second stock any second now.
Yeah, he's got to try and find something that will lead him into that KO. But Balloonboy's going to find a downlight into the end sync of his own. Ooh. Balloonboy trying to send him up into the skies, but Shadow0q not damaged enough for that. Balloonboy realized that he was without a jump to be able to get that ground pound. And then he decided, I'm just going to go for the thing that's going to get me the most damage. And that's going to be the recovery, which ended up sending him up in the first place. And now Shadow0q is also into the red. GC side signature from Balloonboy. Not going to hit that side light, the active input side light is going to be enough for Shadow0q to put Balloonboy onto his last stock, and now Balloonboy's got to try and work his way around Shadow0q of his own, and it's going to be really interesting to see how both of these players try and work their way around each other's neutrals. Balloonboy is going to have to try and find something like a downlight into the recovery. He tried to read the dodge, but recovery not going to hit a spot dodge there. Shadow0q try to come down towards Balloonboy on the wall, but he's going to pay the price for trying to use a lot of that momentum to his advantage, and it didn't work out so well. He ended up getting KO'd for it. You know, maybe not directly, but it forced Shadow0q off the stage and then getting hit by the side air while making his way back up, and now Balloonboy is dealing a lot of damage at the moment with this bow. He hits a side air. Shadow is a bit into the orange. That new signature into the weapon throw. Balloonboy is going to take the KO. Game one really quickly goes to Balloonboy.
Balloonboy with that movement.
He just works his way around that really quickly. Like, it didn't look the greatest for him, and then he just pushed Shadow0q into a box and then just shipped him to Brazil. Like, that's what happened. Game 2 underway here. No map changes, no legend changes. Just a complete run back for these players. So even Balloonboy is, you know, even Shadow0q and Balloonboy are pretty happy with, you know, how they played on this map. So, you know, no changes from either of them. At the moment, at least. Oh, try to go for a GC. Shadow0q's gonna try and get full damage for that. Balloonboy now into the orange there with that side light, but no, Balloonboy is gonna get a wake up down light into the side air, which is a true combo commonly used by a lot of blaster players. Shadow0q trying to work his way around the blasters. Balloonboy doing a couple good mix-ups here, you know, not only of the moves that he's using, but the timings of it as well. But, you know, don't discredit Shadow0q. He's pushed Balloonboy off the stage with this scythe. He's tried to work his way around there more, but no, went for a grounded attack as Balloonboy was up into the skies. And now both of them stuck into the neutral.
Oh, the Balloonboy special!
No, Balloonboy, you can't be doing that! Get a read off of the downlight? Are you crazy? Huh?
He is crazy. He's Balloonboy.
He's Balloonboy, and he's strapped the balloons onto Shadow0q and made him look like a boy, and he sent him up into the. He's just sent him into the stratosphere with that. That's good. That sidelight into the side air there from Shadow0q's gonna get the KO there, but it's looking really nice for both of these players. They're, I don't know, Balloonboy on this Diana, it's just, he looks like maybe at worst in a little bit of stripe, and then out of nowhere, he just pulls out the most crazy stuff that you've ever seen. Shadow0q did end up touching Balloonboy's going for a ground bound. Shadow0q trying to reverse this edge guard. Balloonboy does make his way back though eventually, but Shadow0q is in the way between him and the weapon. He does pick up another one, try to go for the Sair, but Shadow0q avoiding it nicely there. There's the side light. Shadow0q try to bring out the damage some more, gets it down air, but no, Shadow0q making his way back. There's the side air there by Shadow0q, try to go for the GC. Shadow0q gonna try and get a complete punish. That side air not gonna be able to hit. Down there into the weapon, throw off the wall. Balloonboy gonna make his way back. That recovery on the sword is gonna get the KO, and Balloonboy has been put on his last stock in game 2.
A very interesting thing to note about all this is that Shadow0q, not only being the lower seeded player, but also losing that first game, is probably the biggest reason why we've gone to Small Brawl Haven both of these times so far, and there's a small chance could be going to this right back again. And it's also kind of interesting to note and see and ask ourselves, why is Balloonboy also start with going to Brawl Haven? Because it does benefit the signatures a little bit, because some of the blast zones are pretty close. It also puts Balloonboy at some pretty big risk, because, you know, that scythe can just drag, especially if you get an off-stage read, that scythe can just drag you one corner of the map to the other, and it looks like Shadow doesn't really quite need to drag Balloonboy. He's already dragged him through quite a bit to get this damage lead, but still, you can see both these players stepping up their movement to all high hell. Try and make this last stock last as long as possible. Can Balloonboy get the 2-0? Make a big statement as to why they deserve to be in not just lower finals, but also get closer to winning. Or will Shadow0q bring this 1-1 and prove why we've been saying that he is not power ranked or seeded generously enough? And a deep light recovery. It's not enough to send Baltazar, or not Baltazar. Every single time I see that, I think Baltazar.
Balloonboy trying to make his way back. He does avoid the GC, but he's on the exclamation marks. That side is going to bring it to 1-1. Really intense stuff for a lot of these players. The neutral has been really impressive. They're trying to break into each other's neutral with a lot of movement options, maybe a couple baits here and there, but they're just doing really well, and it's a real struggle for either of these players to try and just crack into each other, which, you know, we're seeing it with, you know, sometimes Balloonboy, sometimes Shadow0q. When they do crack into that neutral, they are building a lot of damage with it. You know, sometimes Balloonboy just takes Shadow0q off to the stage, and then sometimes it's Shadow0q trying to reverse him with a scythe. But we're going to go into game 3. It is 1-1 between two extraordinarily good players. And we're going to head into it. There's a downlight into signature already, and Shadow0q is beating out the sweats. He does manage to get the wall touch though. Balloonboy tried to get a sidelight, Shadow0q narrowly managing to avoid it. We're back into the neutral state again. There is a neutral air there from Balloonboy. Grab that, that's gonna take the KO already! Balloonboy's barely been touched!
That is clean! Yeah, Brawlhaven, I think we're starting to see why Balloonboy is also starting to kind of like Brawlhaven. This is like Shadow0q's kind of... it was a bit of a home field advantage, and that little scythe string is going to prove just how much it is a home field advantage for Shadow0q. Balloonboy is not opposed to going to a map with small walls that, treat
there's a ground pound.
Big signatures quite generously. Balloonboy in a ledge guard gets reversed by a nair. Shadow0q choosing to spend a lot of time on scythe, and that is paying off nicely. A clean stock to answer back to. Look at that. This is... I mean, now it's hard to tell who this could go to. Just barely dodges out of the end sig. How do you even space that clash? Gonna make life difficult for Balloonboy. Ground pounding gonna be very ambitious. Somehow makes it back. He's been very trigger happy with that end sig. Shadow0q not quite sure how to approach this ledge guard, letting Balloonboy get back. Nair then also gonna bring him to the side. Shadow is just denying Balloonboy as much stage control as possible, because once you get Balloonboy stage control, oh my goodness, he turns around and he does this. So that's why Shadow0q was just keeping Balloonboy off the stage. Balloonboy has spent barely any time in the past whole minute with feet on the floor, because once you give him stage control, that's where it all kind of goes wrong. Shadow0q just trying to keep up with this constant ledge guard, and a good scythe read will be a good way to continue up that.
Yeah, at the moment, these players, especially with like a lot of their reads and just them pushing their advantage, has been cleaner than the kitchens they're using to cook their meals. And there's a side signature, but Balloonboy is not looking the greatest. Try to use the GC downlight to potentially hit Shadow0q and then get a chase dodge from it, but it's not going to work out enough for them. Shadow0q at the moment is really just keeping Balloonboy off the edge. Balloonboy now picking up a pair of blasters, trying to work his way around. Downlight into the recovery, that's going to get the KO, and we are even up a piece. Each player has an even slice of pie, and it's just a matter of time before one of them just chews the others all up. Shadow0q trying to work his way around with the sword. Balloonboy getting a couple hits. There's a neutral light there from Shadow0q, but no, Balloonboy works his way back onto the stage. Balloonboy trying to get the read, but didn't delay that side light enough to pick up the dodge. Shadow0q tried to go for a heavy ground pound, but Balloonboy made his way back enough. Shadow0q not looking good. Spot dodges that down light just enough, but can't get a punish from it. That dash down light into the neutral stick and the weapon throw. Balloonboy takes game 3, 2-1 Balloonboy.
That's what happens when you give Balloonboy
the kitchens they use to cook their meals. I'm telling you.
Food cooking. Yeah.
Dude, they're cooking each other up. They're just making a meal out of this. They ain't playing with their food. They are demolishing their food right now. This is insane.
That's what happens when you give Balloonboy stage control, and we're right back to small Brawlhaven right now. This booked Shadow0q tournament game. Shadow0q needs to win 2 more games without dropping one, and after seeing just how much the set has put him through, that's quite a tall order. It's kind of hard to know. I mean, listen, I know he's a great chef, but it's kind of hard to know if he's able to fill such a tall order. I mean, a lot of stuff that isn't quite out of his skill range, but Balloonboy is, I mean, he's just schmoving.
Yeah, Balloonboy has already built up like a decent amount of damage onto Shadow0q already without being hit quite a couple times, but Balloonboy wasting his dodge. Shadow0q's gonna almost even up the damage here. Shadow0q keeping Balloonboy away from a weapon, but not for long, as Balloonboy now picks up the blasters, hitting a side light. Both of them back now into the neutral. Shadow0q landing a neutral air, trying to go for the down sig, but Balloonboy punishes, which enables him to get back to the stage. Down air into the side air. True combo now as Balloonboy picking up the bow. Shadow0q without a dodge. Balloonboy can't hit enough of him. Shadow0q trying to go for the bait. Juicy dancing, that's going to get the KO. Really nice spot dodge. Shadow0q try to go for the down light and then GC down signatures. if you're not a Diana player and you're not using your down sig when you're punishing your opponent, you are not a Diana player. You are a fraud. Balloonboy trying to go for an audacious rebound, but Shadow0q is now off the stage. He works his way around to the other side. Shadow0q now trying to use a couple down airs, gets a recovery off it as Balloonboy wasted his dodge. Shadow0q trying to go for that downlight, which into a recovery would end up getting the KO perfectly. That GC downlight not going to be enough as Shadow0q gets a side air, trying to use a GCM light to try and finish off the stock, and now Balloonboy getting a GC downlight air of his own, gets a neutral air again as well. Active downlight, that's going to end up getting the KO, but Shadow0q, there's a lot of damage built onto him. It's only going to take a couple more hits for him to be KO'd completely.
Shadow0q desperately needs to change something. We've seen the times where something would just snap inside of him. Something would just flip the switch, and you can already see some movement starting to step up. Keep your eye out for his reaction speeds, because if he starts reacting things a lot faster, that's, you know, he's able to hit flow state, but flow state, there's a chance he might have to wait until last stock unless he's able to keep this going and put Balloonboy on last stock. Not quite, just barely able to touch the bottom of the side of the stage. Balloonboy, sidelight end sig, not gonna be it. Shadow0q is able to last just a tiny bit longer until the recovery picks him up. Shadow is now on tournament stock. Just needs a little bit more work done. If he's able to get a quick stock right here, doesn't have the read though, so Shadow0q desperately needs the read if he wants to try and get this in. Otherwise, he'll be turning his apron in at the end of the episode. Balloonboy is actually struggling a lot. Shadow0q stepping it up. It's not quite the reaction speeds this time, though. It is the movement. Balloonboy, something about, I don't really know how to. I think this is Groovement now. Balloonboy, there it is. Nair. You know, you can hit Nair 7 times as a true combo. I'm only half joking. And Nair is just kind of wild on blasters.
Oh,
Nair into downlight. It's also kind of nasty. Shadow0q balancing out stocks has one last thing to say before he tries his best to not get eliminated. He's still got a shot.
Look, Shadow0q is like this close to being fired from the kitchen. And Balloonboy is going to be the one to give him the eviction notice if Shadow0q can't get enough of these side threes in time. Balloonboy really trying to evade. There's a down air, but there's a second one into the side air. Not going to get the KO just yet. Balloonboy now onto the bow, keeping Shadow0q off the stage. Trying to get his way back. Balloonboy going for a straight ground pound. Balloonboy wasted a GC. Shadow0q not getting the full punish off it. That downlight so close to hitting. There's a neutral air. That's going to be it. And Balloonboy 3-1 gets the win as he's going to put himself into loser's final.
That was a little stressful.
That was
a lot to watch.